Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Juricich, and welcome to Hooked on the Niners.
And I'm Mark Naismith, and because we're such brilliant, insightful football experts, we're going to be giving some midterm grades for the 49ers' first half of the season.
Wow. I can hardly wait to see this. And I'm Jerry Walker, and we're going to talk about the new stadium, the new weight room, and the Hall of Fame Museum.
And to support the bright and insightful comments by Mark, we brought in our old pal Terrell Jones. So there is truth in advertising. We don't know how this is going to go, but we'll be right back with Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is brought to you by
Bay 101 Casino, located at 1801 Bering Drive in San Jose. They can be reached at 408-451-8888 or on the web at bay101.com. Since 1994, Bay 101 Casino.
Badges Cafe. Badges Cafe is located in the heart of Mountain View at 2423 Old Middlefield Way. You can reach Badges Cafe at 650-967-7477 or on the web at www.badges.com. Go Niners! College Plaza Shell. College Plaza Shell, located at 1400 West Hillsdale Boulevard in San Mateo, providing automotive service since 1987. You can reach College Plaza Shell at 650-573-7959. That's 650-573-7959.
Psst. Hey, need some video work done? We can do that. We do all that video stuff. We can even put your video on that internet thingy. At Peninsula TV, we do full-blown in-studio production, talk shows, performances, speeches, anything. Remote multi-camera production, on location, at your event. And for the budget-minded, single camcorder production in high definition. We'll take your video project from first idea to finished product. For more info, contact Peninsula TV.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners, kind of a special show here. We are going to give out some grades a little later, and we're going to find about everything that's going on down at 49er headquarters with the new stadium and the weight room, and all that sort of stuff. But first, why don't we just take, without giving out the grades, which we're going to do in the next segment with Professor Naismith over here. First half of the season for the 49ers in general. I was the guy that at the beginning of the year said, if they beat Green Bay in Green Bay and then beat Detroit, look out. They could run the table. I was wrong. Okay?
But you're big enough to admit it.
What do you mean by big enough?
Intellectually big enough to admit it.
Okay. Phil, you left it.
I think he hurt your feelings.
You got to knock off the young, good-looking guests. You got to do that. 5-2, I mean, and looking real good as far as I'm concerned. Defensively, as strong as can be.
5-2 and looking good except for one game.
Yeah.
Well, maybe two games. Maybe Minnesota too. But are they just blips on the radar?
Yeah.
We'll find out. It's a tougher league. It's a tougher division, and the Niners are holding their own.
Yeah. Aren't you a Vikings fan?
I am a Vikings fan. I'm a big Vikings fan. But I will say this about the Niners is that I'm glad that they lost a couple of games. Because just imagine, just imagine if they're 14-0.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're going down the stretch. All of a sudden, this pressure comes on to run the table.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they have enough experienced guys who can take that pressure. You got some of these young guys. I think they would, they could run into some trouble.
Yeah.
So.
Darryl Pollard was with us last week, and during one of the commercial breaks, and my apologies for not getting this out of him on the air, but he said something like, even with Coach Harbaugh, this team doesn't have any experience winning world championships.
Right.
You guys were involved with him. I don't know. Were you with the Super Bowl team when you were with the Niners?
No, we went NFC Championship game.
Okay.
Green Bay.
But, 4 of them for you. And that experience means a heck of a lot.
It means a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's the experience of guys who come in and they would just find their role and fit in, and it seemed like George used to say. George Seaver used to say, he didn't want to be the conductor on the train that went off the tracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those guys would just fit into their role, and they would learn from the guys who had the experience of the playoffs, how to prepare for the playoffs, how to be a championship team.
But that's a good question, though. Let's say that they get that close, okay? Do they rely on a guy like Tom Rathman? Do they bring Tom in and let Tom speak? Because Tom's been there. I would.
I
would.
I would think Tom speaks daily
right.
on how to be a champion player in a championship
That's
team.
a good call. I'd forgotten, and I apologize to Tom. That's a great call.
But he's just one voice, and I don't think Darryl was overlooking Tom.
Right.
I think he's talking about as a whole. There's not a lot of experience there.
Right. And I guess the only way to get that is to win it.
It is kind of interesting to me, just as an amateur observer, that the team has maybe done some things that we didn't think they would do and not done some things that we thought they would do. Like, you know, everybody said they're going to open things up, and they brought in Moss and Manningham and picked Jenkins in the first round, and anything but has happened. Not sure that's good or bad, but it just hasn't evolved that way. I think there was some perhaps justifiable concerns that Frank Gore didn't have as much in the tank as he used to. He's certainly proving otherwise, is he not?
Yeah.
And the Kaepernick experiment has proved with some success and maybe now some backing off. So it's been kind of maybe a more interesting set of games than we thought would happen, because I think they are trying to find themselves.
But here's a good question about the whole Kaepernick experience.
We'll judge if it's a good question.
I love you, Jerry. But does that throw Alex off his rhythm a little bit when you bring a guy in like Kaepernick?
Last game it did, for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing is when he does make a mistake, and he had the horrible game against the Giants, there was a spot in the Seattle game where we had the ball late, and they decided to run the quarterback's draw, and another time they ran him around end. Was that Harbaugh saying, I'd rather trust my defense more than Alex?
I think I'm going to skip a beat here and change the pace a little bit, but I think the whole first half of your season...
Is this going too fast for you?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. Slow down. I think the whole first half of any NFL season, whether you're the unbeaten Patriots from a couple years ago or whether you're a struggling team, is you're trying to find yourself.
Right.
You're trying to figure out where this team is heading, what do we have, what do we got going, what works best, and then the second half of the season, you use a lot more of that. So I think we're still trying to find ourselves as a team, offense, defense, the Cap, the Smith, whatever.
Right.
And I think that it looks like you could look back and say, yeah, maybe that messed up Alex's rhythm, but I think Alex has been through the practice sessions, and you bring him in, and you're sitting watching during the practice. So it's not like a shock to Alex. He knows what's going on. So I have mixed emotions on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and think about it this way, too. Maybe it plays with his head a little bit more, too.
It could, because and his head could be fragile because of all the coordinators, all the
possible.
Yeah.
What do you think? This is the 77th time I'm going to say this. Geez, I'm getting tired of saying it.
Why
are they going to get Randy Moss more involved? I mean, you see a lot in the first half of the season. A lot of replays of him open, and whether Smith didn't see him or Kaepernick didn't see him, or maybe he was the fourth read. I don't know what the deal is. Are we going to get the ball more to him?
It sure seems to be the biggest head scratcher for the fans.
Yeah.
He does seem to be open a lot. He seems to attract interest that could get other guys open a lot, but he's not on the field a lot. So that's a lot of a lots, but it just doesn't add up to much, because I think we're kind of confused about why he's not playing more.
Well, and especially last night, when you had Manningham who was down.
Yeah.
Why not give the ball more to Randy? Why not get him more involved? I didn't understand that as well.
Williams.
I think the other side of that is I think he is involved other than making catches and being thrown to. He's drawing coverage. It's another weapon the defense needs to worry about on every play that he's on the field. But yeah, it's a wonder he doesn't catch more balls don't come his way.
Yeah. The break couldn't happen at a better time. Got a tough Arizona team on the road coming up. Yep. Much like the first game of the season, having to open up in Green Bay. I like this coaching staff having enough time to prepare for Arizona. We got about 30 seconds.
And I agree. This is a perfect time for them, and they can actually take this time to insert other plays and look at what they didn't do right, and what they can improve on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arizona's a tough place to play. Back in your day, remember, isn't that where Bill got clobbered on the sidelines?
Bill did get clobbered, and our last week's guest, Darryl Palter, was kind of involved in that game.
Really?
He didn't clobber Bill, but he was kind of involved in that game. That was a tough loss.
Yeah, he was.
It was Mr. DeBartolo's birthday. Bill got taken out on the sidelines. Actually, when we were loading the plane to come back, doctors were concerned about Bill
going to that elevation.
Well, no. Because he got hit on the sidelines in Arizona, outdoors at Arizona State Stadium, when we were flying back after that game, Bill was not doing very well. There were some concerns about maybe some broken bones in the body and stuff.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. That's it for segment 1. Segment 2 is going to be all marks. So if you want to go get something to eat or use the restroom or something, it's probably a good time to do that. We're going to give out some grades, and we probably need a little more time for this thing. This ought to be real good when we come back here to Hooked on the Niners.
Brought to you in part by Woodmont Real Estate Services, a friend to the community since 1963. Woodmont Real Estate Services is located at 1050 Ralston Avenue in Belmont, California, and can be reached at 650-592-3960 or at www.wres.com. Vivace Ristorante. Vivace Ristorante is located in the heart of Belmont at 1910 Ralston Avenue. They can be reached at 650-637-0611. That's 650-637-0611. Or on the web at www.vivacerestaurant.com. Gando Design. For 25 years, Gando Design is located in Redwood City. Their website is gandodesign.com/specials. Gando Design, a proud sponsor of Hooked on the Niners. Peninsula TV is now live streamed on the internet. Watch us from anywhere you have an internet connection, on cable, on the net, and on that fancy mobile device. Just go to pentv.tv.
All right, take it away, Mark.
Okay, thank you very much. So we thought, because everybody else does this, all the football pundits, all the expert gives out grades. We thought we'd do exactly the same thing. So this panel of great minds and experts is now going to give grades for almost the first half of the season for the Niners. So we'll look at a couple of positions together.
Away.
But let's go. Let's start with the offensive line. So put up a card.
Okay, give me a chance to get a card here.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Here we are.
Okay, seems like we're in pretty good agreement
I'm the
here
only
with this
guy.
time. You're a little higher up, so
I tell you, I
quick
think
comment from you?
I think they had a bad game against the New York Giants. Not
I think
that
you
good.
had -A there instead of A-, by
It did.
the way.
Okay, all right. I don't. Well, I never got one of these before,
Okay.
so I would never know. But I think they're gelling, and I heard somebody say on one of the broadcasts they're the best offensive line in football. What do you got next, Big?
wow. I think they need to be a little bit better at pass blocking.
Okay,
That's just
all
a
right.
quick comment.
All right.
All right, let's put the wide receivers and the tight end position, so the guys who catch the ball together, and let's see what we think about those guys.
Okay, let's just give me a.
Okay, 1,
All right.
2, 3. Oh.
B minus C B.
Oh, okay.
B.
So
okay.
we're up to Terrell was the most most critical here. So give us
Well,
a
you
go.
and I are kind of on the same page.
Exactly.
This is the smart side of the table here.
Well, I think they can run better routes. I think they can be more physical. Having Manningham there has helped on the blocking part, but I think they can be a lot better.
Can I add something to that
Sure.
since you've got this? And you guys haven't heard this before. I think they got to get the ball to Randy Moss more.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. See, and we were talking about being insightful. There it is, right there.
All right.
Okay,
Next.
let's talk about the running back position. Interesting group of guys for the Niners. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Terrell, again, he's a tough grader, very tough grader.
Oh, you just want camera
very
time.
Tough grader. So,
If I wanted that, I'd still on that side.
Oh, wow.
Why the B?
Well, Frank Gore, of course he gets an A. I think he's one of the best backs in the league. But when you put in Kendall Hunter, he does okay. Maybe give him a little bit more time. I just think it's the blocking part. When it comes to pass blocking, I think they need to be better.
I can't argue that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right.
What you got next?
Well, I think the next one will be the most fun. So let's look at that position that gets the ball and tries to do something with it. The quarterback.
Quarterback.
And quarterback or quarterback. So it's the whole position?
The whole position.
Oh, of course. Don't you think? Don't you
All
think?
right.
Okay. One, two, three.
What do we got? Yeah.
It's that way. Okay.
Jerry?
It's a half-hour show, Jerry.
Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry's saying plus. All right, so Jerry doesn't understand what we're doing, so he can tell us why you think it's a plus.
I do. The reason I think it's a plus is I think the quarterbacking is the best this year than it's been in many years, and that's the plus. And you're going to have some ups and downs. If I really needed to give one grade, I would say either a B- or a C+, but going in this direction.
Okay. All right. I'm with it. That's fun.
Well,
it's
it
fun.
is
What
fun.
else you got?
All right, let's.
Yeah.
No more comments on the quarterback. That'd be
No, they're
controversial.
good.
Okay.
They're good. Okay.
So let's look at the defensive side of the ball, and we're going to put our front seven together. All those 7 first guys per your
Okay.
immaculate suggestion.
Front 7.
Okay.
So let's look at our front 7, and how do they come out? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness! I think everybody kind of likes that. Oh, everybody kind of likes that. I was probably
Wait, time out.
Yeah,
I like it.
Okay, all right. Now you're the guy that's a why only a B?
I would.
Plus or minus? Yeah.
I would
Why?
like to see a little more pass rush from the front 3.
God,
I know
here
it's
he goes
tough.
with the pass rush
I know
again.
it's tough when you play
We
a
did 4
3-4,
years
but I
of this.
still think that that's an area that they need to improve on, is putting more pressure on the quarterback. Now maybe that's the way Fangio's playing it, but it's not an A+ in my opinion. Great group though, one of the best. Clearly one of the best in the league.
You know, you may have something there. Not enough Alden Smith.
Yeah.
So far this year. No?
Or
he's what? He has what? 4.5, 5.5 sacks.
Yeah, that sounded like I don't think he's playing well, but
Right.
I thought many more sacks.
But look at this though, and I will continue to say this throughout the season. Look at the improvement of Bowman.
Yeah.
Oh
He's a great
gosh.
player.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the defensive backfield. So this is both the cornerbacks and the safeties. So the Fab 4 back there, how they doing? 1, 2, 3.
I'm catching on now. The guy can't talk in grade. He looked at our grades first.
Yeah, he did.
So, Terrell's a little tougher again. You guys
we went to high
Jerry
school
and I
together.
were.
He looked at my paper too.
Okay.
I liked it.
So what do you think?
I just, I think they could do better. They need to cover the receivers more. I think also
Pass rush.
It's not.
That helps. That helps.
Necessarily.
But look at where they rank as far as interceptions go.
Yeah.
Okay. There's maybe one guy I think one guy has 2 interceptions in the whole team.
Terrell
So, and
do you think Carlos Rogers has lost a step?
I think he has.
I think so.
I think he has too. And I think too it could be just a little bit of inexperience.
Yeah.
They need more time together. They're getting there.
This is the cart way ahead of the horse, but I think that's probably the position that they'll look at in free agency and in the upcoming NFL draft.
Definitely.
I really do.
Okay.
Definitely.
Next.
Special teams?
Okay, special teams. All right.
What do we think there?
Special teams.
What do we think there?
Okay.
Let me ask
Now this includes kicking.
We only have 2 minutes left now.
So we're not going to have kicking separately.
No.
Special
Mitch made me
teams.
put them together.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
He's the boss. So special teams. 1, 2, 3.
Boy, you.
Well, remember kicking.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
What do you
Kicking
go?
like,
What's your time?
like a 63-yarder.
Okay.
Against
All right.
Pro Bowlers.
You guys
Like,
I really meant to do this first, honest. I did.
Andy Lee had a key punt last night.
Blake Costanza.
Yeah, I think
we miss him.
if we take them apart,
Yes.
they're probably different
like a
grades.
field goal
but-
in 23 straight games, which I think is a team record.
Okay, all right.
He gave him a B. So
Okay.
Okay. We got 1 minute.
Coaching. So,
Coaching.
Big part of the game. That's everything. 1, 2, 3. Oh my
I'll
goodness
take your A's and
gracious.
raise your one.
Okay.
My goodness.
I just think we have the best coach in the league. Go ahead.
Well, I still think they're a little inexperienced, a little too many experiments. Some played great and played not so great, and sometimes I think they're still evolving. But
What was
good
our
future.
grade point average? Did you keep track of that?
I don't know.
I will say this. I don't think that we have the best coach in the league. I think we have the best coaching staff in the league.
I agree completely.
Right. Now, I'm going to give you something that I used to get on my report card all the time. Remember they had the comments? I used to get this one. I don't know if you can read that. Talks too much in class. And my mother, God rest her soul, used to write on there, put soap in his mouth. Anyhow, go ahead.
I was going to say that I think part of being the coach, getting all the credit and all the blame, is his staff.
Yeah.
And I think that often when the announcers on television refer to what a great job Harbaugh did, it's actually what a great job his coordinators did, but under his supervision.
Exactly.
But
Absolutely.
I think the coordinators are the two best in the league.
So there you go. You don't get analysis
Good
like
stuff.
this anywhere.
You just trust me. You cannot find this anywhere, and for damn good reason. Sitting next to Terrell.
Are we going to grade that segment?
I give us an A. Come on.
All right, when we come back, we'll let you know what's going on down at 49er headquarters with Jerry Walker right here on Hooked on the Niners. Good stuff.
Here's the good news.
Good
We never
stuff.
use those.
We never used those. No,
we did before the last time we did this. You and I.
Absolutely, we used it a lot.
We did this.
Hooked on the Niners is brought to you in part by Old County Custom Framing, located at 1339 Old County Road in Belmont. You can reach Old County Custom Framing at 650-596-2767. That's 650-596-2767. Go Niners! California Catering Company of San Mateo, proudly serving our community at 233 West 20th Avenue in San Mateo. California Catering can be reached at 650-345-4811, extension 1. The San Mateo Credit Union, serving San Mateo County for over 60 years. They can be reached at 650-363-1725. That's 650-363-1725. Or on the web at www.smcu.org. San Mateo Credit Union.
Hey guys, Will Durst here for my good friends, acquaintances at Penn TV, the place for what's happening in San Mateo County, and lots more too. Visit Penn TV on your local cable TV provider or live on the web at www.penntv.tv. Hey, they do good stuff.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. Jerry Walker was not only the PR director for the 49ers from 81 to 92, he was an instant replay official upstairs for 13 seasons. 13 seasons. And
That's
now
why it took so long.
Yeah.
To get those things back down.
Well, after the grades he handed out. And is now the curator of the museum. What's the official title?
Team archivist.
Team archivist.
Oh.
Okay.
And as team archivist, I'm helping gather artifacts for the new Hall of Fame Museum.
Hall of Fame Museum, which is going to be housed right there in the stadium. And before we get to the stadium, I understand that they've expanded the weight room, which I know you're just drooling over.
Are you
I
kidding
could
me?
care less, but let's talk about that weight room. It's off the charts.
Yeah, when I was there from 97 to 04, it was 2,200 square feet. So imagine during training camp, you've got 100 guys in there trying to get a lift in.
Look at the size of this thing.
And
Wow.
2,200 square feet is twice as what it was in Redwood City.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how big is this guy?
So
I don't know the square footage, but it's the width of a football field. It's right along the practice field.
wow.
Right, they built a new facility outside of the team's training facility at the practice field because Coach Harbaugh felt it would be easier to get players to work out walking right off the field rather than get their way past the locker room, past the lounge.
That's smart.
And
That's
go
really
right
smart.
into it so that you don't get a chance to pass the soda machine and whatever.
Well, now they have a cafeteria, so they'll go straight into the cafeteria.
Absolutely.
1.2 million.
For the weight room.
Yes.
Boy, that's a lot of dumbbells. Well, of course, we got a lot here, too. But anyhow.
Careful.
No, what about the stadium? I mean, the last time when I went down to talk to the folks about my tickets, the stuff was about this high off the ground. And now you're telling me level DEFCON 5?
5 and 6 floors up, and the suite side is taller than that.
Look at this.
It's awesome.
Wow.
Now, these pictures are actually last week, so it changes daily. That's kind of fun to. Every time I go down there, it's a new angle, a new build. It looks like a different building. It's like more and more advanced.
Right.
Did you say DEFCON 5 or DEVCON 5?
DEFCON. All right.
5.
Sorry.
That was a good line.
You like that, huh?
But, I mean, look at all the steel that's up. How many nails do you think they've used so far, Jerry?
Oh boy.
See, this is the kind of information we want.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I don't think they use this.
Okay.
I'm laughing because remember the Cheers episode where they have Kevin McHale walking in the Boston Garden counting how many screws there are on?
right, exactly.
That's your job, man.
Exactly. All right, okay. And so this thing is right on time, right on project?
They're about 20, as of yesterday, they're about 20, well, as of last week when this airs,
Yeah.
They're about 20% complete.
Really?
And that's, the ground broke in April 18th or 19th, April 19th. And so that's 5 months, 6 months,
Yeah.
and 20% done. So they're definitely on schedule.
I would have no idea how you start building something like that. I guess get a shovel. I don't
Get a few checks first of all.
Well, okay,
You know,
yeah, even more basic than that.
And I've got a question for you. And talking to a few people at the Niners, I hear that this is going to be the best stadium when it comes to technology.
Technology, and almost even more important than that for us old fogies that aren't into technology, 2/3 of the seats in the stadium, 68,500 seats in the stadium, 2/3 are in the bottom bowl. No other stadium in the league has that, and the technology is going to be unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Right.
And already in the running for a Super Bowl venue.
Right, exactly.
And you know what? They should get it. If New York can get one in the middle of winter, why not here?
Yeah.
2016, we're a finalist, and the 68,500 seats can be expanded to 75,000 for an event like that.
Absolutely, and if we do get that Super Bowl, my tickets are up for sale. If anybody, no, I'm just kidding you there.
Way to go, Mike Tice.
Yeah. Nice. Talk a little bit about the museum and being the archivist. I know you raided my office one day, and you're always looking for stuff.
Always looking. I was at St. Mary's College the other day, and I asked them if there's anything around, pictures, any artifacts around from when the 49ers used to train there. So we got our connections out. We're working our connections. We're looking for, what I'd really like to get, what we're having a tough time getting is game-used items. Old game-used jerseys, old game-used helmets, pads, equipment, shoes. Gordy Sotot has a pair of shoes for us from his kicking shoes from his days in the 50s.
Right.
So we embarrassed Ray Wershing into his wife Chrissy. Ray's wife Chrissy is looking for a pair of Ray's shoes for us to put those in there too. We've got the ball from Alex Smith's touchdown pass to Vernon Davis, the game winner against the Saints a year ago.
Cool.
We've got Frank Gore's game ball from breaking the NFL career rushing record as a 49er.
Right.
Awesome.
We've got
about 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
Yeah.
Send us your stuff.
Send us stuff. Where would they send it to?
They can contact the 49ers.
Okay.
Jerry.Walker at 49ers.com.
Okay.
And I'll try to get back to him, or we'll get back to him as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
But it's exciting times.
Jer, thanks a lot. Mark, thanks for the grades.
That was
Always
fun.
good to see you, pal.
Thanks for having me.
Especially on this side of the table.
I know.
All right. We'll see you next time right here on Hooked on the Niners. That was good. That was really good stuff.
Nice
It's going to be
job, Jerry.
educational,
Yeah.
interactive. I
Yeah.
should have mentioned that, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah.